Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today we are reviewing the 2025 Toyota Tundra TRD PRO with the iForce Max engine. Let's get into it. Before we get started, I'd like to give a huge shout out to Rusty During Toyota in Jefferson City, Missouri for allowing me time with this vehicle. Please reach out to Arion for all your vehicle needs. Powering this Toyota Tundra TRD PRO is a 3.4-liter iForce Max twin-turbo V6 hybrid engine, producing 437 horsepower and 583 pound-feet of torque through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy 18 city, 20 highway. Starting in the front here on this TRD PRO, we do get the Toyota Heritage logo here on the 3 amber lights, as you can see there, and we get this light bar integrated into the front grille. Rigid style fog lights there, Tundra badge there. As you can see it, we have this kind of digital camo trim throughout the exterior of this vehicle. Coming around to the driver's side, we have these LED headlights, very cool design, functional vents there. And then we get our amber lights on the fender flares here, and these fender flares are plastic, but they also are this kind of digital camo. It's kind of hard to see here. Coming up on the hood, we have the TRD PRO logo, and then we get these, this is just for look, these two hood vents on the top. So you can see TRD PRO on this side as well. Coming down to the wheels and tires, these are obviously off-road Falcon Wild Peak tires, all-terrain, 285/65 R18s, the BBS forged wheels with the TRD red logo in the middle. Coming into the front suspension here, we have the TRD Tune Fox 2.5 internal bypass coilovers. So pretty beefy suspension there, perfect for off-roading. Speaking of off-roading, this does get about 10.9 inches of ground clearance, and it does have an aluminum skid plate underneath. Overall, very cool looking vehicle. We'll come down the side here. It's kind of interesting. We get kind of this plastic almost rock rail. It's different than the other paint up top, but it is not steel. I'd like to see that on this off-road vehicle. And mirror caps, color match, turn signals. We just have kind of the plastic door handles, no keyless entry. And coming down here, fuel cap is here. We have the dual black exhausts on this one, pretty cool. And then we get this side step there as well. It's always handy getting up into the bed, super easy to use. Then coming to the rear bumper, we have more of this digital camo style accent, and then we have these kind of LED rear view lights here, trailer hookups. There's your hitch. This tow's around 11,000 pounds, so not too bad. And then you'll notice we get the fancy taillights with the tailgate button right there. Drops the tailgate. This one has the bed liner in it, as well as this super nice tri-fold hardcover. Looking in here, we just have one tie down in the corners. I'd like to see a couple more of those. That would be cool. And then we do have cargo lights, as you can see them. They are working here. 5.5 foot bed, pretty standard on this truck. I think this button also puts the tailgate up. You'll also notice in this tailgate we have 3 red reverse lights there as well. Here's your iForce Max badge and your TRD PRO stamped in the tailgate. I love the black color, blacked out style on this truck. We get more digital camo up here on top of the tailgate. We'll take a look at the sticker. Let me know what you all think of this vehicle. I love the look of it. But now let's talk some numbers here. So this is the Tundra, the TRD Pro, as I mentioned. Fuel economy, 18 city, 20 highway, 19 combined. Most of this is standard equipment on here, but this does have the TRD Pro black lettering package for $160. The trifold tonneau cover is $12.95. Bed step, $431. And the non-skid spray-on bed liner is $5.99, which is much better than the composite. So after destination, total MSRP $76,940 on this vehicle. So take that tonneau cover off, you know, you're right at about 75 grand. We'll talk more about pricing when we start the drive. I do have some opinions on that. I forgot to mention the back here. If you look underneath at your suspension in the rear, you have the multi-link suspension with coilovers and the remote reservoir Fox shocks. So that is what stands out from the other trims of the Tundra, is the suspension, in my opinion, and the added ground clearance. The tires, I think you could probably go up a size pretty easily. There's a ton of room in here, as you can see. It's probably what I would do to get a little more ground clearance, because if you're buying this vehicle, you're most likely going to off-road it at some point. Let's take a look at the interior here. So, looking at the interior on the driver's side, soft material throughout this thing. And you'll see we get the red stitching all across. Memory seats. There's your window controls, mirror controls. Get a little pocket in here. Quite a bit of storage in the door, coming inside to the seats. Power adjustable in every way you could imagine. More red stitching, and then you get the digital camo on the inners of this seat. You can kind of see it here. TRD Pro logo there as well. And then over here, we just kind of our lighting control, our fuel cap. Then we get our heated steering wheels actually over here, and then to turn on your light bar is right here. And then we do get these kind of sports style pedals, very cool. We actually get a manual adjustable steering wheel, which is kind of surprising. You'd think it'd be powered in a truck of this price. Payload on this thing, let's take a look. 1380 is the payload. It's a little less than the other trims, which you would expect on an off-road vehicle. Hopping in, here's your TRD Pro stamped ignition. Turn that thing on. Here's our startup. It's really hot today, so the fans are blowing. Let's turn that down. All right, just looking at the steering wheel. On the left, we have kind of our standard menu controls. Flip through those. Volume controls. Here's our adaptive cruise on the right side. That changes your radio station. Looking at the steering wheel, you have this TRD stamped bottom half here, and it is leather wrapped. Has the nice red accents, super bulky, very cool. Do get a digital rear view mirror in this vehicle. That's really cool. Do like to see that. Sunroof control up top. We do have the two-pane moonroof, sunroof, whatever you want to call it. Coming down here, oh, here's our trailer brake controller as well. Coming down to the 14-inch infotainment screen. Set all this stuff up later. All right, so this is just a massive screen. It's huge. I don't like, and I mentioned this before, you do get storage back here and another plug-in, but I don't like how it sticks so far up from the dash. I wish it was kind of more flush. I'd take another inch off this thing. Just helps with visibility. Kind of look how much, I mean, you don't have much between your mirror and this screen here. Taking a look at the cameras. So this is kind of your 360 style view. There's a button there that can toggle that on and off. Put this thing in reverse. You have every camera imaginable. All your off-road cameras. Your lines. So really, here's our, you can toggle, there's your side view. That's really nice for off-roading. And then actually that has your pitch and roll there also. Pretty cool. Put it back in park. It's pretty, there's a lot of features in there. I'm not going to go over all of them, but coming down below that, here's where you get your physical climate controls, ventilated seats, heated seats on both sides, and then all your different climate controls are these physical toggle switches. Then you get a USB port there. And then you have 2 camera buttons here, your trailer camera and your 360 surround view, ABS control, hazard. You do get a rear locker, pretty cool in this. And then you get the tailgate down button, wireless charger, a lot of room and storage in that little compartment. Parking brake is there. You get the red accented shifter, TRD Pro stamped, as most things are in this vehicle. You do just have 4 high and 4 low, as well as your 2-wheel drive select there. So no 4 auto in this vehicle. But you do have a ton of drive modes, your multi-train select, crawl control, tow haul, and then flipping this toggle here will show you your different modes: sport, normal, eco. So just a couple in this, no off-road mode, but you do have this, as I mentioned, your multi-train select there. 2 smaller cup holders here. The center console, you do get some storage up top. 2 cup holders there. And then let's find the button. Flips up, a lot of room, a lot of storage in here. Some pretty neat little dividers. As you can see, 2 more chargers in there. And then on the passenger side, you do have the Toyota with the red outline. No storage up here. You see that in a lot of trucks. Another glove box. That is not the case here. And then here is a view of the passenger side. And now we will take a look at the back seat. Taking a look at the rear seat here, not as much storage as the front. All you have is your window control. You still get the red stitching, but you do get hard plastic up top here. Then a couple spots for cups. Looking here, you still get the camo trim seats. No TRD Pro logo, that's okay. There is your cup holders. Then back here you get a little slot for your phone and more charging. I will say other vehicles in this price range, you usually get heated seats back here. Not the case for the TRD Pro. Hopping in, plenty of room back here. We know that it's a full-size truck. However, compared to a Ram or a Ford F-150, not as much room as those trucks. That's pretty easy to tell when you hop into this thing. I will say too, we do get the glass, that this entire glass goes down. That button is up front there. I'll show you that in a little bit. Then as far as under seat storage goes, with the battery, you don't really have any. So we take a look, like this whole thing is useless. So that's kind of a bummer. Not much storage in this truck. So that's the back seat. Let's take a view from the back. And now we will take this thing for a ride. All right, we are off in the 2025 Toyota Tundra TRD Pro. Let's see how this thing rides real quick. Take a look at the layout here. As I mentioned, there's your button that brings down your back glass and comes back up. Really neat feature for Toyota. No other vehicles doing that right now. Also, I'd like to talk about price as we get going here. So this is sitting at about $76,000, $77,000. Take the $1,500 tonneau cover off. Let's call it $75,000. $75,000 for the premium off-road vehicle that Toyota has. What is that going to compete against? The Silverado ZR2, even the Ram RHO, and the Ford Raptor. Ford Raptor pricing starts at about $82,000 or $83,000 for the standard base Raptor. Getting more performance out of the Raptor. I could argue the interior and the luxury feel, this is better. So that's $4,000 or $5,000 difference. Comparing this to the Chevy Silverado ZR2, that comes in at about 70 grand. That one is probably more off-road capable, front and rear lockers, etc. Sits up a little higher. Not as good in the fuel economy department unless you get the diesel. So this thing is, you know, about 5 or 6 grand more expensive. Let's do it here. Good sound actually coming from this engine. I think Toyota beefs up their sound in the audio department through the speakers, but I think that's the case. Let me know if I'm wrong on that. Comparing this to Ram RHO, you know, if you get the RHO level 1 equipment group, you know, you're at closer to 85, 86,000. However, the base RHO, you know, you can get that right now for honestly about 65,000 after the incentives from Ram. Not as much tech on the inside, but probably more off-road capable than this Tundra. So this, you know, as all these high-end off-road trucks, best of both worlds. You get off-road capability and you get a luxurious truck. If it were up to me, you know, I'd probably choose a base RHO for off-roading because I want the performance out of that engine. The sound is better. I'm not gonna say it's overpriced because in the market right now, this is probably right where it needs to be. So torque, the power in this engine is really good. Gets up to speed so easily. Handles well. The visibility, I don't like the 2 vents up top there. I wish honestly the hood was just flat. Would make visibility a little better. Got it here. Acceleration is wonderful. This thing, extremely torquey engine. Sounds pretty good. Fuel economy, not terrible in this thing. Handles really well. You have a bunch of off-road goodies. I will say one place that Toyota hits it out of the park is the look of this truck. Love the look of this thing. Love the wheels. Tire setup. I'd probably get slightly larger tires if I were to purchase one of these. But and the ride quality of this thing is just great. That off-road tuned suspension, it's really good. You know, it can't be beat. Super quiet ride. Not much wheel noise either, tire noise. So yeah, let me know what you all think of this thing. You know, Toyota gets a little bit of pushback and feedback for their pricing. I would agree, you know, the TRD Pro Tacoma is overpriced. 4Runners are overpriced. This thing I think is right where it needs to be, that mid-70s range, compared to the competition, as I mentioned earlier. So good job Toyota on the pricing on this thing. You probably don't hear that a lot. This thing feels like a race car. Just gets up so quick. Yeah, as I mentioned, let me know what y'all think of this Toyota Tundra TRD Pro. Is it worth the money? Are there better options out there? Like, comment, let me know. And as always, I really appreciate you all watching, and we will see you all next time.